Hello and welcome to the Artesian webinar. This webinar is entitled Deeper Engagement, Better Results, and this particular presentation focuses on the commercial banking sector as a real-world example. However, most of the examples and suggestions can easily be transferred into other B2B sectors such as technology, professional services, telecoms and business services, and across other regions such as North America and Canada. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nick Boardman. I work for Artesian Solutions, but previously worked for Lloyds Banking Group and Barclays. I've got over 30 years experience in commercial banking and have undertaken roles including business development, relationship management, credit and training. So the last 10 years or so have seen an unprecedented change in financial services, and specifically in the commercial banking sector. The banking crisis, low interest rates, new entrants, increased competition and technology have transformed the banking industry, and banks are coming under increasingly intense competitive pressure. Consumers, both individuals and businesses, have become more sophisticated and demanding, with service expectations rising to new highs, championed by global and domestic brands such as Apple, Virgin, John Lewis and Amazon. Banks are starting to respond and improve service levels to match those expected at these leading brands, but they still have some way to go. Whilst in the background, regulatory requirements continue to increase, with banks needing to spend considerable sums on being compliant and on evolving and developing systems and processes to keep up with the escalating requirements. The UK banking landscape has altered significantly in recent years, with new entrants moving into both retail and SME business banking. Overseas banks such as Santander and Handelsbanken have joined new challenger banks Metro, Aldermore, Shawbrook, Atom and Paragon. They're all seeking to win clients and market share from the traditional Big Four high street banks. The SME market is proving more difficult to break into because many business customers generally require a full range of solutions such as trade finance and foreign exchange, along with traditional services including loans, deposits and money transmission. However, technology is starting to break down these traditional barriers to entry. Increasingly, businesses have access to online or internet banking and are moving away from visiting branches, and this is helping to level the playing field. So, this webinar will focus on 4 key challenges that commercial banking professionals face and features some successful customer-curious solutions. We'll look at retaining clients, winning new clients, managing risk and building reputation. These are all challenges that our banking users and customers tell us that they're facing today. When I started work in the banking industry over 30 years ago, the marketplace was dominated by the Big Four banks, Barclays, Lloyds, NatWest and Midland. There was limited competition between the banks and the services they provided were fairly standard. Local branches served local businesses and the bank manager knew all of his customers and his team dealt with all of their requirements. If you fast forward 30 years, today's banking environment is very different. There are over 20 banks in the SME marketplace, all looking to pick up customers and provide them lending and other products and services. Admittedly, the Big Four still hold a high proportion of business accounts, but competition has stepped up and companies are now moving banks more frequently than ever before. So, if you're a relationship director in a bank managing a portfolio of, say, 30 medium-sized businesses, how do you ensure that you retain these businesses and repel any competition, particularly from the challenger banks, which are expanding and gaining market share? You have limited time, more and more demands, and less support. And tactics that you can employ include using client-centric topics to build deeper engagement. You can strengthen the relationship through account planning. You can build an understanding of their industry, get a deeper feel for their business and the environment they operate in. And then you could look to proactively support clients, look for future opportunities for their business. But all of this takes time, and it's a luxury that today's busy bankers don't have. Fortunately, help is at hand, and many banks are now using Artesian solutions to provide intelligence and information to help their people be better informed and become more proactive. So, my Artesian top tips for retaining clients are: track your clients and use news alerts to gain great insights and delight your clients, finding reasons to contact and engage with them. Build a 360-degree view of the client's business, including their main customers and their suppliers. You can then use these news alerts and blogs and social media to understand what's happening in the client's world. And then finally, congratulate the clients on any successes and awards that you pick up through the news. As an example, here's a great alert if you manage ClinTech relationship. Then this news would be a great way of keeping in touch with the company and congratulating them on winning this prestigious industry award. They would, of course, be aware that they've won the award, but imagine their surprise when their banker has also picked up on the news. I can't promise that your clients will love you and your bank as much as some people love Apple, but it will be a start. Now let's look at winning new clients. In an increasingly competitive world, winning new clients is more and more difficult. Everyone seems to be going after the same great companies, and whereas in the past you might have been up against one competitor, you now may be in a beauty parade of 3 or more banks. So how do you ensure that you get ahead of the competition and get in front of the CEO, CFO, or other key decision maker? First of all, you'll need to build reliable prospect lists, which can be selected and filtered on industry, geography, and, if necessary, creditworthiness lines. Once you've built your target list, you'll need to use your network to help get in front of the decision makers. You can use existing contacts, professionals, and increasingly social networks such as LinkedIn to contact target companies. But what messages do you want to provide? Hello, I'm Nick from Big Bank, and I'd like to come and talk to you about foreign exchange. Really doesn't cut it anymore. You need to understand what's happening in the prospects world and use insights that resonate with them. Hello, I'm Nick from Big Bank, and I read in Retail Week that you're looking to expand into Europe. I'd love to come and meet with you and see how we might be able to help and support your growth plans. That style of conversation elevates the discussion to a higher level and is more likely to succeed in getting you that all-important first meeting. So here are my Artesian top tips to help you win new clients. Use Prospector to help identify appropriate target companies based on specific requirements. Use news alerts, blogs, and social media feeds to facilitate conversations and meetings. And finally, research companies to identify their specific needs and their specific requirements. And here's an example of a great news alert and a trigger to call or email the directors of SSE, picking up on their expansion program. It will put you in pole position for the follow-up meeting with this top prospect. I'm now going to look at managing risk, and as we all know, banking is a risk business. Banks lend money and extend facilities to the majority of their clients and need to regularly monitor exposures and track trading performance through management accounts and year-end accounts. Customers will often tell you when things are going well, but when performance deteriorates, there is often a wall of silence or accounts are produced late. So how can a relationship director or credit manager keep on top of any risk events and changes in financial performance? Obviously, regular visits and meetings is a tried and tested approach, but quite often customers just tell you what they think you want to hear, and they won't tell you the bad news. The modern banker can also supplement this standard approach by checking local and national media and picking up on news from regulators such as Ofcom and the Financial Reporting Commission, but this can be cumbersome and time-consuming. The clever use of Artesian can help the modern banker. Artesian assists by making it easier and quicker to capture news stories on risk events, And in short, Artesian helps you build a 360-degree view of the key risks and dependencies, and it helps you improve your risk management. So, my Artesian top tips for managing risk include looking at Artesian to highlight risk news stories, and it will be delivered to you daily by email. You can review financial performance and highlight key ratios and trends in any of your customers. And you can track your clients' customers, suppliers and competitors to pick up on wider events that may have a negative or detrimental impact. In this example risk alert, it's highly unlikely that the directors at Danmere Capital will call you to tell you this news, but by tracking their regulator, in this case the Financial Conduct Authority, you'll be one step ahead and can take immediate and appropriate action. The final area I'd like to cover is building reputation and expertise. This topic can be applied equally to long-established banks and new challenger banks. So how do you build company and individual reputation to show that you have an understanding, capability, and can deliver? The tactics here are to build reputation as an expert in a specific industry sector, and a number of banks take this approach where they have a suitable critical mass. Relationship directors manage clients along an industry specialism and aim to build an in-depth knowledge of a particular industry sector. And this approach can lead to further introductions to this industry specialist in the bank, but is often infrequent and unsustainable. Another approach is to build industry eminence by following and then posting thought leadership articles on social media using LinkedIn and blogs. These articles can be obtained from a variety of sources, all leading to the impression that the banker has a deep understanding of the industry. So, by using Artesian, you can build a picture of any industry sector and receive a snapshot of key news articles. So my top tips for building a reputation with Artesian are: get alerts on sectors that are relevant and important to you and your customers. Research market information and news stories to help build expertise. And then finally, quickly and easily identify and share relevant news stories with clients, prospects, and contacts via email and social networks. And as an example, this report from Kantar Worldwide highlights the growth of e-commerce in the fast-moving consumer goods market. Great to post on social media or for use in discussions with your clients who might be in retail and wholesale sectors, thus adding value to the relationship and proving your industry credentials. So, as I've outlined, the commercial banking sector is getting more and more competitive. Clients are more demanding and regulation is tightening. This has created a market where companies, the bank customer, has better value, better service and a greater choice. With more expected of commercial banking managers, banks are now using technology such as Artesian solutions to ease workloads, monitor news stories, track financial performance and improve efficiencies. This is helping them get closer to their clients, build relationships with prospects and become more customer curious. I've covered 4 key challenges: retaining clients, winning new business, managing risk and building reputation, and provided some top tips and techniques that our banking users are adopting. I hope that these resonate with you and that my top tips help you build deeper engagements and deliver better results. Thank you for attending the webinar, and I hope that it's proved to be interesting and thought-provoking. There is a booklet available on the Artesian website which can be downloaded. Do feel free to get in touch with me direct if you want to learn more about how Artesian can help your business. Thank you.